episode of Hanging in the Basement. This is episode number 7, and today I got on Carlos Lemus. Tell me if I'm pronouncing that right.
Yes, yes, perfect.
Okay.
You got it
All
right.
right, beautiful. A fellow musician from Brooklyn, and we are going to dive deep and find out about his life and his music, what he's
Let's
willing to
go.
share with us. Episode number 7, and it's going to be pretty cool. So let me just stop my Facebook. All right, here we go. Got it. I can't stop it. I have to, like I told you, it's a little bumpy in the beginning. So I think we're up and running now.
Yeah.
And all right, cool. So just like to tell the our listeners that I met Carlos at a open mic at you said Wednesdays at Sam Mash, right?
Yeah.
Back in the day. I don't know. I'm thinking that's like over 10 years ago. I don't know
I
what
would
you.
say, yeah, I would say like 2014, 15, 16,
Okay. All right.
around
Yeah.
there. Yeah. So like,
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say 2013, but yeah, maybe 14 sounds about right. That's when I was starting to like consider going performing
yeah,
live
yeah,
again.
yeah.
And anyway, yeah, and I remember seeing you perform a song. Can't tell you. I think it was an original, and what it might have been the original back
I
then.
think I think I remember what song actually. It was something about wait, something about I think it was about women and like I was trying to
Yeah,
like
some sort of
yeah,
romance thing or
yeah,
something.
yeah, like oh my God, that song. I think it was something about women and how something how we shouldn't just care about their bodies,
Hmm.
like treat them as people. I mean, so something like that.
Right, right. That was probably one of the things that kind of like made me want to connect with you. I'm like, wait, this guy's singing something a little bit deeper than you typically get, and so I want to connect with you about that.
Yeah.
I really I like depth. I'm
Yeah,
a
I think
folk.
I remember you you like told me you came up and spoke to me like after that. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, 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 cool. Yeah, I guess, and I gathered that was probably early in your days of performing, or no?
Yes, yes, super early days. Oh my God, those days were amazing. Every Samash open mic every Wednesday night. I was just playing with my friend Andrew, who lived, I would say about like 2 seconds away from me, like just right next door.
Sweet.
And we used to go there and write these songs and just perform them, you know.
Hmm. That's neat. I see in the background you got some cool posters, and you got a
Oh
Christmas
yeah,
light type of thing.
yeah, yeah. I got this piano, this upright.
Uh-huh.
This piano was
Wow.
given to me by the lady upstairs. That she was my neighbor upstairs. How do you call it? She was a music teacher,
Uh-huh.
and during the 2020, she during the pandemic, she died because of COVID. But before
Mhm.
that, she left me her upright, so I still have
Pretty,
it. Yeah,
pretty sweet.
yeah.
Have
She was
you
really
made written any songs on it? Have you written songs on it yet?
yes, yes, yes. Definitely have. Over here we have more of my guitars. Most of them are gifts. We have a lot of this artwork that you see is done by my niece who sings in my band. Uh,
Uh-huh.
she does. I don't know if you can see. Wait, see that? Like over there.
Oh yeah, well.
A lot of the art is just her. So, and I've done some art as well. Like there's this really cool poster. Well, I don't know if you can see
Nice.
it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
man, you are one creative dude.
Oh
Love it.
man, thank you.
Yeah, I love the vibe of your hangout there.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that a basement?
Yes, there's a basement. Yes.
So we're hanging in the basement. We're both hanging in the
Yeah, yeah,
basement.
yeah, definitely, man.
And what neighborhood are you in? I know you're in Brooklyn.
I would say I guess it's considered Canarsie, but I'm like right on the line of Linden Boulevard, so it's like I don't know, but I guess it's almost like Brownsville, like Flatbush.
Flatbush, yeah, Brownsville,
Yeah,
Canarsie.
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I know you're talking about Lindenburg, not far from
Brookdale
the
Hospital.
Brooklyn Terminal Market, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay, over there. Cool.
Yeah.
And I understand you're also we have one at least one friend in common, Josh Salant.
Oh yes, yes, Josh Salant. Yes, he used to work there and used to run the open mics there. And
Right,
he
right.
lives, I would say, like maybe like 4 blocks away from me at his studio.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. So then I
yeah,
know where you are, more or
yeah,
less. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I recorded a few songs at his studio, and uh, yeah, he's definitely a good friend of mine. I don't see him as often as I'd like to, but cool guy.
yeah, definitely.
So we could take this any direction, but mainly I'm curious about your life as a musician, as a creative person, and I want to start off with the I think, interesting question, just to kind of see where it takes us. What's your favorite color today?
Oh,
So it might not be the
today,
same as, like at the moment, what's your favorite color?
the moment, I would say right now at the moment is this orange. It's called I guess sodium vapor, the sodium vapor lights. Back in like in the late 90s, early 90s, before they changed, before they have the lights we see today, the LED lights, they were
Hmm.
orange lights. They were called sodium vapor. And during the summer, I remember like it was like around like 7, around 8, the sun was going down and those lights would come on. It'll be a summer night, but it'll be with that light. So it'd be like the sun was still setting in a way. It was really beautiful. It's those Brooklyn summer nights, New York nights. Um, those that's my favorite color right now because it's so nostalgic.
Wow, that's really very specific. You had a very clear idea.
Yeah,
So sodium vapor in the orange family, basically.
yeah. It's I forgot what I guess that's salt, sodium, and like that type of color. Yeah, it's because of the lights. Yeah, that's how I know them. It's basically like I don't know if I wish I had like those. I think it's called after hours, that type of imagery or aesthetic where it's just like after something closes like around like 10 p.m. or something, and you have the light still glowing and it's glowing and it's very
Hmm.
peaceful. And this happens to be that orange light. You know what I mean?
So maybe like a sunset orange kind of.
Yes. Let me see if I have a quick example here so you can really know. It's really what I'm using for the basis of my album.
Oh yeah.
The aesthetic wise. Um,
Is
I
this
forgot.
your band album or you have a solo album or something?
Oh, my band album, yeah. Okay, so these are the lights. It's like I don't know if you can see it. Mm,
Yeah, yeah.
It's like
Nice.
yeah, like maybe this one's better, like that type of lighting.
Okay, yeah. It's kind of
Hey, you
yeah,
get
like
it? Yeah,
Auburn
yeah, yeah.
sunset, like a burnt
That's
orange kind of
Yeah.
a
So
little
see,
bit.
look, this one shows the before and after. The before is what I was talking about, and
Yeah,
now
yeah.
it's like it's all white, and I don't like
Okay.
it
All
because it's like
right.
in a hospital, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I love orange. I love purple. I love somewhere connecting orange and purple. Like if I color something in, I like to kind of
hmm
sometimes play with bringing orange and purple together with
Why
blending.
why uh why do you like purple? Because
When I
that's
say,
I was gonna say purple too. That used to be like my favorite color at some moments, you know?
mhm. Yeah, purple. Uh, I guess maybe it's more of a violet if there's a difference. It is a little bit more in the lighter family of purple that I prefer. Like this is a little darker than my favorite,
hmm
but similar to the idea of like a sunset. At a certain point, that orange, like burning orange of the sunset, becomes kind of reddish than purple. There's like a certain element of the sky that starts to become this kind of violet
Oh, I
purple.
know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking
You
about.
know,
It's like it's like night and like it's like a combination of like pink and orange,
Yes, yes,
right? And it's like,
yeah.
and the purple's right there. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
love that.
yeah,
So purple, I don't know, purple has this kind of legal thing
yeah,
to it, royal, but also has this religious element to it,
yeah.
Not that I'm looking at it from a religious standpoint, but I don't know, just it's kind of that spiritual thing, to it. And it's special. Apparently, like I did some research on purple, and like there's no flags with the color purple in it, which is pretty interesting. No
Mm,
national flags. And the explanation was that dyeing things purple up to the recent past, I don't know, up to like 100 years ago, was super expensive. It was
mm,
very hard to get the true purple dye.
yeah,
So now, like, we have these synthetic ones that we could do, but it was very difficult to get. So that's why it was only like royalty or like,
like
the
yeah.
upper echelons of the Catholic Church or different religions that could wear that because it was pricey and stuff. Uh, and also, I heard this silly thing. It's not silly, but might be surprising that magenta for sure, but I believe it's purple. Apparently, doesn't exist.
What?
Have you ever heard that?
No. I guess like what the colors, right? The primary colors are what? Red, green, blue, and I guess they all mix, right?
Right.
I
So
guess,
basically,
but
well,
I don't know. I
well,
don't know.
yeah. I mean, yeah, you could theorize. Who knows?
Yeah.
But basically, our brain has something to do with the receptors in our brain. Like when our brain sees red and blue on top of each other,
Hmm.
it's like our eyes, whatever. It can't process to see red and blue at the same time, so it creates something else. And what we see is this thing called purple, but there is no actual purple color. It's like this red element and a blue element at the same simultaneous. So in nature, I don't know, maybe it's mainly with light. Maybe it's not with solid color, but like in light, there is no actual purple color, like the rainbow, right? Roy G. Biv,
Yeah.
red, orange, yellow, blue, green, no, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. There's violet, but there's no purple per se. And yeah, I don't know. Same thing with magenta. Magenta is this like hot pink purple thing, which apparently doesn't really exist in the light spectrum, but our brain creates it when our eyes see certain things.
I see what you're saying. It's like it's a color only made when our brains perceive it.
Yeah. Right, right.
When I was like in school, I remember I was like what in first grade and second grade or something like that, and I had this idea. Like I was thinking, I don't know what they call it now, but it's like, if I see a color that's red, does another person see that color the same way I see it? Is it red to them as well? Like, is it a different shade of red? You know what I mean? Like I thought about
Hmm.
that, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And there's color blindness, right? Like yesterday, we were at a talk in the park by the creek. I'm right by Marine Park Creek,
Yeah.
and we were looking at the cherry blossoms, and there was a tree lecture, and the guy says the leader was explaining that he thought this tree was white leaves, but then later, as he walked away, he saw it was actually pink, and he explained he has some color like blindnesses or
Oh,
weaknesses
I see. I
that
see.
were like he's at odds with people a lot. Like they say, no,
Yeah.
it's this color. I was like, no, and then
Yeah.
other people say, no, actually, your sense is kind of different from most people's. So people perceive things in a unique
Right.
way.
That's so true. I guess that's so cool. Everyone perceives colors differently. You know what I mean? Like it's funny. I was writing this like poem about a girl and her eyes, right? They're brown, but it's like a brown like of a nice piece of furniture, if that makes sense. Like, but like
Gotcha.
well made. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
or like eyes that you can like smell. Like, you know what I mean? Like something like really cool, like a cabin in the woods type thing, that type of
Sure.
color.
Nice, nice. You reminded me of synesthesia. Have you heard that
Yes,
term?
yes,
Yeah.
yes. I've for me, it's not like I can really see it, but it's more like I feel it. Like I would say like a G chord. That's like green to me, or
Hmm.
yellow because it feels like there's something like it feels like home in green. I don't know for whatever reason. Maybe because my mom's favorite color is green. Red I feel is like A minor because it's like sad, and like A minor is a good key for like sadness. E minor
Hmm.
is like a deep blue. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh, so and like I could like think about it like that, like colors, like music, but I can't. I mean, I can't like visualize it. It's more like a feeling thing. Is that it's like it's so
Hmm.
weird. Like, you know what I mean?
Actually, that's funny when you start saying that. I remember that I did this. I was a guitar teacher for a long time, and a composer. So I did this series of scale studies
Hmm.
using all the modes of the major scales. So I don't know if you are you familiar with the modes?
Yeah, it's just funny because I typed something into today into Chat GPT. It was so funny. I I was with this girl and the one I wrote about her eyes, and we were at this jam session and we were like, oh my God, they're using the Mixolydian blah blah blah, and she's like, yeah, they're probably using the DeLorean scale or mix of DeLorean, and it was a mixture of like Back to the Future, right? And like something like that. So I typed into Chat GPT like, hey, is it possible to make a scale that captures the vibe of Back to the Future, and like and you can help me like use this scale in at local jam sessions. And then I typed it in and it gave me a whole answer. It, it was so cool. It was like, oh my God. I it was just like, whoa, now I can actually use this scale. But to be honest, John, I don't know how to I don't really approach I know about scales, but I don't really don't know them that well. So
Mhm. Sure. So you have some rough understanding.
yes.
That's super. I love the way you're thinking about these things. Just really just combining. I haven't gotten into Chat GPT, so I don't know quite what's possible, but I could see with that creative vision that
Yeah,
you could,
it's just
discover
really
some
funny.
interesting
Yeah,
ideas.
yeah, yeah.
So with this, anyway, there's seven modes of the major scale and how it works. I'll share it because you might find it fascinating. It's like let's see. Okay, so you got um, let's say this is okay. So this is zero. Well, actually, let's say one. Let's start at one. Okay, let's say one is the note C.
Okay.
C is the major scale you could do without using sharps or flats, right?
Yes, just the white keys.
So you go C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So it's from here, from one to eight. One to
Hmm.
eight is the C major scale.
Okay.
If you take the same exact notes, all the natural notes, and you slide it up, and you start on D and you end on D,
Ah.
D, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. That's
Mhm.
called the D Dorian scale. And if you start on
Ah.
E and you play it to E, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, then you get that sound. Okay?
Ah, see.
And that's the Phrygian. So that's what the modes are. They're just taking the same exact notes, just sliding them up one until you get back to C. And then you've covered seven modes and they all have a different character. So I wrote this scale studies on on the modes, and I called each one of the scale studies a color. And
Ah.
I didn't. So when you said G major, I actually made G Mixolydian scale a green,
Ah, I see.
and I'm pretty sure I made A minor red.
Ah.
So that was interesting. And I think F was yellow, C major, I made orange.
Mm.
I don't know. It was just kind of the same thing. It just I intuited a feeling. It wasn't like I saw it, but
That's funny because C and F are like similar, and yellow and orange are similar. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. And also, of course, it's whatever key you're in. Like if you are in the key of F, then C has a different flavor. But if you're in the key of C, so like F has one flavor in the key of F, and C
Yeah.
has another flavor. But if you key of C, C has one flavor and F has another, because the relationship is different to the root note. You know?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Or even if you're in the key of B flat, then you also have an F, which has a strong uh, roll, but it's going to have a different flavor when in the key of B flat, and C would be minor in that case, in the key of B
That's
flat.
so
Anyway,
cool.
just flowing around here. Um, so let me hear. What are some of your influences? I really don't know. I like when I listen to music. Pleasantly surprised. You know, sometimes hear band of an acquaintance or a friend, someone you know, and you want to like it and you don't. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah,
But I
yeah. No.
heard your music and I was like, I didn't, I was hoping I would like it, and I did. I'm like, oh wow.
Oh, that's
It just
awesome.
kind of like captured a mood that a little bit reminded me of The Cure, The Smiths, or something like this kind of
Definitely,
mood,
definitely,
moody
definitely.
rock,
It's super
thing.
moody. I would say the biggest influence growing up was the Beatles. Um, just because my mom would play them all the time, and I just noticed that all the songs were good. They were all good. All the songs were so good, and I love even the more happy poppy ones. You know what I mean? Like the first ones that they started with. I like all the new ones as they progressed. I grew up with that type of music, with Beatles, a lot of classic rock. I would say like Creedence, Zeppelin, a lot of music from the 50s, 60s. My mom would make tapes and CDs, and we just listened to that. That was her music that she grew up on. So just a lot of English music, American music, and that's the type of music I like. That was my foundation. Like,
Or basically classic rock and like even before, like kind
and
of like
yeah, like
rock and roll, early
50,
rock and roll, basically.
yes, like doo-wop, all of that. Very, I would say, very pop, very pop. All the songs were very pop, but like, music back then was so good. You know what I mean? So it was just that was my foundation to the music that I was exposed to until like I was like I would say maybe 12 years old. I started getting into Queen. You know what I mean? When I first heard of Bohemian Rhapsody, amazing. You know what I mean? Amazing.
I was shocked when I first heard it.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, what is
Can't say
this?
I liked it. I didn't particularly like it, but I grew on me,
Yeah,
But I'm
yeah,
like Rhapsody, and
yeah.
because I first heard it when it came out with Wayne's World 2
Oh
or
yeah,
Wayne's World 1, whatever it was,
yeah.
and I was like, the Wayne's World music video made it so cool, right? And then I'm like, do I
Party
like this?
time.
I'm not sure, And I was thinking about rap was kind of big at that time, early '90s, and I'm like, this is not rap. Yeah, I didn't know what a Rhapsody
Yeah,
was,
yeah. It sounds like it's gonna be rap because it says Rhapsody. Uh,
Mhm.
yeah, I grew up with that type of music. How do you call it? But I was also very open to the music in my neighborhood. My neighborhood's it's very people from the Caribbean, a lot of Jamaicans, Haitians,
Mhm.
um, a lot of from the islands. So I grew up with a lot of reggae. Um, there would be like cars blasting music, just a lot of reggae, dance hall, ska, all that. There was a DJ that used to live right next to me, and you had these parties, and I would just go to them and just listen to music and eat. That's how it was, and it still is. So I grew up with that type of music. In the '90s, Um, I guess I was like what, like five, six around there. But my I had an older brother and he really liked dance music. I think the movie Night at the Roxbury came out like in 19 something, 1995 or six or seven, I don't know. But house music, that was like my brother's, that's what he loved at the time. And like that song, What Is Love? And all these like classics, like techno music, house music. I just love how smooth it was and how just really danceable and everything.
Hmm.
That was on my older brother's side, and then my sister's side was all Spanish music, bachata, merengue, all that. But especially bachata music because it has a lot of guitar, bachata music, and they have
Okay.
a chorus effect on the guitar.
How do you spell that? Bachata?
Yeah,
Hmm.
Bachata. Yeah,
ATEATA.
yeah,
Bachata. And merengue you were into too?
yeah, yeah. Of course, every time at the family functions, they would have Spanish music as well, and I noticed that I really love that music too, especially cumbia, just a lot of mm, yeah, music that makes you dance, Uh,
Hmm.
so
Interesting. And so you
yeah,
got that early, so it's a classic rock,
mhm,
but also like pop classic rock in the, I don't
yeah,
know, like
classic.
50s, 60s pop.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah, 50s, 60s pop and also doo-wop, right?
Hmm.
Which would be in there too. Right?
Yep.
Cool. But that doesn't explain the way your band sounds.
No, no. I
Not
was trying
really.
to I was trying to understand it myself. So we have all that mixture, right? You have house music, you got pop, you have classic rock, um, and I guess those are just things that I was given or like shown. And I guess what I discovered myself was is really how what shaped my sound. I guess as a when I was in high school, I really got into like I was like 12, 13. I was really it was like I was in seventh grade. No, I was in sixth grade, and I was like I gave my friend a Led Zeppelin CD like a gift. I was in sixth grade. I was like, hey man, you gotta listen to this. And I think at that point I was like loving music where I would just listen to it all the time, all the time, all the time, all the time. Like at that time, people were listening to a lot of like rap, and not that I didn't like rap, but I liked 50 Cent growing up, Eminem always, Snoop Dogg, all of that. Songs that are well made, great songs, but a lot of the songs that my classmates was listening to just I just didn't like, didn't make sense. Um, like in every generation, there's like pop music that just garbage, you know what I mean? How you call it?
Yeah, I sure do.
Yeah. So I just I started getting into like Black Sabbath. I think what happened was I got really sick when I was 12, and I had this strep throat infection go into my brain, and it caused an autoimmune
Hmm.
disorder.
Wow.
So overnight, I developed like OCD and like severe, super severe depression. I was like crying my eyes out every day. I was 12 years old, and it was the weirdest thing. It's like someone flipped a switch. Um, it's like you can't be happy at all. It was the weirdest thing. Um, yeah, I had to take what Prozac, a lot of antidepressants. It was just the worst. I had to go to therapy. It was it really, really sucked. I don't remember much of it. But I remember Prozac was like I would wake up and feel like the sun was always in my eyes, like that type of like warm feeling.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it's such a strange time. But I remember when I got out of that, I was like, wait, uh, I still got music, something like that. It was like I was sleeping, and then I was like, wait, we still got music. And I think that like 2 years of being in that like depressed, like crying every day, for like 2 years, like a year and a half. I think from that came like where I discovered Nirvana, Black Sabbath, all the moody type of artists
Hmm.
that I really like Elliott Smith, um, basically all the ones that all the heroes that killed themselves, you know what I mean? Something like that. So that's where I
Hmm.
got all the moody music was just about that time, I guess. Just feeling just very alone. Like I had this weird thing. I was very always very popular in school, but like not didn't feel like I really belonged. It was weird. Like I could be sitting with like the nerds, with the cool people and everybody, but I didn't feel like I really belonged anywhere. So it was such a weird feeling.
Hmm.
I guess that alienation and that moodiness comes from just myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I
So,
think that's also one thing that appealed to me about you and why I decided to speak to you that night was that you seem like your own person, you know?
oh,
You seem like I'm Carlos. I know who I am, or at least I'm determined to discover who I am. You know, it's like you seem like your own person.
oh, yes, yes. I tell people like I have this need to just be myself, and like that's why I wish I could act. I wish I could do that, but it's so hard. I don't think I could do that to like the other person. I wish, but that's for me. That's like, oh my God, that's so cool. How do you do that? But I don't think I could do that. That's it's really difficult.
Well,
Like,
I think you're doing it in your way, you know, and as you grow and you're still young, I gather, and as you age and mature, I'm sure you're going to shed more skin, more layers of the false, or not to the false self, but you're going to expand further into your truest version, I
yeah,
suppose,
yeah.
embodying that.
Oh no, that's so cool. That's how I've been feeling at this moment right now, to be honest, in my life. Like it's more like just becoming it's like accepting who you are and like realizing that you're pretty cool. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
and just being yourself, like and that's enough, you know what I mean? You don't have to
Hmm.
prove yourself or anything.
No, it's crazy how society teaches us that we do have to. It teaches us that we have to prove ourselves somehow. But believe me, I mean, I'm 44. I don't know how much older I am than you, but I've in all my efforts proving myself, I've done it many times, and nobody's watching. Nobody's watching it. I'm just proving myself to myself over and over again. At some point, I have to say, "Okay, I got it." I think I've kind of said that, and now it's just between me and just. I kind of like view the world at this point that I have a soul contract that I came here to this planet for whatever lessons and experiences I chose to have.
Mm,
So neither good nor bad. There are just certain lessons, experiences I want to have, and I'm just owning it that I'm having it, and whether comparing myself to anyone else's experiences, it's really pointless because just like we perceive colors differently, we'll perceive our reality differently, and no one wins. I've been practicing Buddhism since 2009 pretty avidly, and I also have a meditation practice. And uh, in Buddhism, I chant, but I also do a separate meditation thing. And I just really feel deeply in my bones that nobody's better than anyone else. No
yeah.
matter how much I do, whether I achieve financially or popularity or do more good deeds or less good deeds, I'm not better than anyone else. There's nothing I could do to be better than anyone else, you know?
No,
So I might as well just freaking be myself.
no, I love that. What do you call it? For me, like I'll give you an example. Like school wasn't hard. It was pretty like easy. I didn't have to write notes because like if I read the book, I actually enjoyed it and it was so cool, like and I had a teacher that would be like, she knew that I gave in good papers, but like and she would grade them, and they would get nice scores. But one time she was like, Carlos, I didn't read this, but I know you did good. And I was like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like I did that paper so you can like read it. Like I don't really care. Like I never really cared about the grade. You know what I mean? Like my dad would make me um think that's all the grade, but just you want your kid to excel and all that. But to be honest, I thought that was just all bullshit. They would put kids in like they would put me in these special um like kids that are like more intelligent, but I noticed the kids were just like kiss asses or like all they did was care about the grade and not actually like learning something. So I really hated those classes. They were just a bunch of assholes just trying to get good grades, just kiss ass and just like oh, I'm gonna go into this college and all that. But I just hate it. It was so fake. I much prefer being in the regular classes, dumb classes, where kids were like just honest, like, oh no, I
Mhm.
didn't read the book. What does this mean? You know what I mean? Like it was just, and they
Right.
were more honest, just more themselves. And I like those classes better. Not that but I will say this, the better classes have better teachers. They do. I had this teacher, what I would do in school was I would just the first day I would see if this teacher really cares about his work. There's a lot of teachers that they don't really care. So I would test them and see. I would test them by like writing just gibberish and make it a whole paragraph, right? And I would see if they actually read it. And some of them they would just mark it, oh, paragraph, oh. So I knew that was just bullshit, and I can get away.
Wow. You
I
actually
can,
did that, huh?
yeah, I can get away with like just bullshitting and like this person doesn't care. But I had this other teacher named Miss Seppelbaum, and she was a young teacher, and she was so passionate about her books. Oh my God! She would talk about like 10 minutes about a Shakespeare soliloquy. It was amazing. It was so awesome to see someone so passionate. And she
Hmm.
was such a hard ass on me because I grew up like getting it was easy to just pass these classes because I knew a lot of people just it's just bullshit. But this teacher, Miss Seppelbaum, actually read all my stuff and she caught me on my bullshit. So she made me like actually she actually cared. So I saw that and I was like, okay, I'm gonna read this book and I'm actually gonna try to write something. And she was very difficult, not an easy teacher, but she made me a better writer and made me feel like, okay, like someone actually cares about what I do,
Hmm.
So
Interesting.
yeah.
And what high school, if you don't mind?
Oh, James Madison.
Oh, Madison. Cool.
Yeah, James
I went to
Madison.
Madison. I
Yeah,
was a
let's
Madison guy.
go. Oh, yeah,
Golden Knights.
yeah, Golden Knights.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so
cool. I had some good teachers at Madison. I had some that were not so good, but yeah, actually, I had a teacher who taught The Sun Also Rises with such passion from Ernest Hemingway,
hmm.
Mr. G, and another guy who taught The Great Gatsby with a lot of passion. I didn't like that other guy so much, but the Great Gatsby had a big impact on me.
Oh yeah, The Great
And then,
Gatsby as well. I remember that was one of like my last essays to that teacher, and I remember like that's the actually only essay where she's like, okay, Carlos, you did it. Like you finally like you're not on that bullshit. You actually did something, and I was like, oh yes, you know what I mean? Like I actually,
yeah,
you know what I mean? So
Yeah, when you like satisfy someone who's been hard on you, that's pretty
Yeah,
thrilling,
yeah,
right?
yeah. So,
Yeah. I'm actually reading F. Scott Fitzgerald's biography right now.
oh wow.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I had no idea that Great Gatsby is actually kind of autobiographical of him, of
Mm.
Fitzgerald. And he kind of, if anyone, he's more like Gatsby than Nick, than the other
Ah,
guy.
okay. The
Yeah, even though
narrative.
he wasn't, Fitzgerald wasn't a gangster or anything, but he was a kind of like a false rich guy in a way. Like he was a
Oh,
bit pretending, he came out of the army and he needed a way to make money, and for him it was writing. And I don't know, there were a lot of parallels. It was a pretty wild life,
that's
And he was in the army, but he didn't see any combat.
uh,
This is World War I era, and he was actually disappointed that he didn't get sent to Europe to fight. He was kind of hoping to go out in a blaze of glory, but the war ended right before he was deployed.
oh
He's
man,
like, okay, now I got to find a job.
that's so cool. I guess some people, are just meant to, whatever your vocation's called for, like he could have easily just died, but he
Hmm.
came and he wrote one of the best American novels of all time, you know what I mean? So
Yeah, very,
sometimes
very
you're just
unique.
destined to do certain things. I definitely believe in that.
Hmm. And thanks to him and his very colorful wife, we got
Zelda.
the name Zelda
Yeah,
for one of the best game series of all time.
exactly. That's so cool. That's so cool. I think it's connected in a way.
It is. It's great. And my son is his middle name is Link, and it's
Oh, after the game?
partially because yeah,
That's so cool.
yeah, it's half because of the game, half because my wife is Japanese, I'm American, so we thought like
Oh,
as we were
Link.
coming up with the middle name, yeah, like linking cultures type of thing,
Oh,
which
that's
is
so
like,
beautiful.
is there any name uh from a guitar that you could use? I'm like, I guess bridge would be the only thing kind of cool. Like neck
Yeah.
would be, can't call him neck or a fret. But bridge, but I'm like, bridge isn't really a great name. And I thought, then the idea of Link came to me and like, Link. And I said, "You're gonna love this one." And she's like, "Yeah, I like it." So his middle name is Link.
Oh,
Ty
that's,
Link.
that's beautiful. I
Yeah, it's
love
cool.
that.
And he loves Zelda too, so.
It's a win-win. Awesome.
So the name of your band, I gotta hear about this.
Uh,
Sibilancezz. I see the
it's
katakana there, which is
Yeah, my niece made this. It's basically it's just sibilance. I added the Z because someone had already taken the name sibilance. So
oh really?
I added the ZZ because sibilance is like the sound of like what is it like zzz, that high frequency.
Really?
Yeah, it's called sibilance, and so I just added the ZZ, but it's supposed to be silent. Um,
Oh, interesting.
um, basically we call we had this I was trying to figure out names for the band, but um I had a friend, his name is Jesse, and he plays trumpet for the 21 Pilots band or something.
Hmm.
So he's like really a great producer. He's been like nominated because he worked on an album with Nas. So it's pretty cool.
Hmm.
And he liked my band, and I just put a post like, "Hey, can you guys help us name our band?" And he said sibilance, and like I looked it up what it meant, and I thought that was pretty cool, and it kind of was a good name for the music that we were making. So I thought
Hmm.
that's why. And I like one word bands. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, it's just easier to market and easier to like write out on a shirt. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Just easy one
Well, what
word.
do you do about the people mispronouncing it? Because pretty much
Oh yeah,
people are gonna
yeah.
mispronounce it, right?
Um, I guess just say no. It's silent. Say
Yeah.
the
Just
Z is
just
silent.
educate them and that's it, right?
Yeah, that's all. I cannot. There's this band called Krongbin or something, and no one really knows how to say their name. Everyone's like, "Is this how you say it?" But we know the band. We know the band. So
Mhm.
I just thought like I just got to make music good enough to the point where we just own the name. But I would like to have it without two ZZs. But right now, I mean, that's all we're working with right now. So you know,
All right, cool. Yeah, it's neat. My band, I have a band with my son right now. That's if I have a band, that's the one. And we have a probably our name is even more difficult to pronounce. It's Karrish Raddit.
Karrish Raddit.
Uh, Karrish Raddit, yeah. And it's we were walking down the street one day and it was spring and I was in the mode of I'm a gardener too, so I was thinking about planting carrots and radishes and just mix the two words together and somehow we were joking around and by the end of the day we both didn't have any better ideas. Like we kind of like that. So
That's
it's
awesome.
Karrish Raddit.
Can I ask you, how is it making music with your son? Because I make music with my niece. Um, and she's what, we're like 10 years apart. So, and she's about to turn what, 21. And to be honest, it's such a hard thing. I don't think I could ever be a dad. It's like so difficult. It's like it's like you wanna like protect them, and by sometimes protecting them, you can be controlling, but it's
Mm.
for their protection. But you also want them to be themselves, and sometimes when they're themselves, you're like, oh, but that's you shouldn't do that. You know, you shouldn't do this. Uh, you know what I mean? And it's like my niece, she's very emotional, very moody. You know, I guess she's like me when I was that age. I guess my question is like, how is it being in a band with your son? You know, because I feel like that's even a deeper bond. You know what I
Right,
mean?
like yeah, more of a yeah, potentially hot dynamic, right, between
Yeah,
father
yeah,
and son.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Um, well, him and have a very unique relationship. I think I'm privileged to say, I mean, as much as he annoys the heck out of me and whatever, I annoy him. Uh, few father and sons can get this far in life. So he's about almost 10, not yet. And we've spent an enormous amount of time together because he's homeschooled
Mm,
and I'm a stay-at-home dad. So
mm,
very few people I know have that much father and son time. Like I'm pretty much with him uh, like 2/3 of each day, you know. So I don't know. Like I my father died when I was 6.
wow.
So I grew up really, and I had a younger brother. So I have a younger brother. So it was like I was this kind of father figure in the house, even though my brother definitely didn't want me to be his dad. But I had to, I felt like this older brother role magnified because there was no dad in the house. And then that kind of expanded to my friends group. And even if my friends were older, I still had this kind of older brother atmosphere, and I was like the responsible one. And whatever. I didn't want to, but I felt like that was a pressure put on me from my mom and my grandma and stuff like that, and Catholic school maybe. But whatever. So with that background and not knowing my dad really, asking tons of questions, but never getting that deep. And my dad worked nights, so even when I was a kid, I barely, didn't get a whole lot of time with him. So now that I have this time with my son, and I am a stay-at-home dad, I've chosen that, and we chose to homeschool. I'm just like I'm just not going to be mean to him. If he wants me to be mean to him, I'll be mean to him for 5 minutes. If he just needs that experience. But uh, and so I don't I never give him lessons really for drums. I mean, I teach him, but I don't really teach him music too much
Yeah,
because I'm a teacher, a guitar teacher. So I feel if I pressure him to learn, like
you
it's
might
not
hate
going
it.
to work.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I really hands off. And he's actually a really good guitarist and drummer.
that's
Mostly for my suggestions or like in the beginning, I was was trying to teach him drums years ago, and it's a long-winded answer to your question. Sorry. Um,
No, no, I love it.
and I was trying to teach him drums, and I'm like, I don't want to teach him, but he wasn't playing a drum beat at all, you know. And I'm like, so I taught him super basic thing, right? I don't know, like one, two, three,
Mm.
four, right? And he got that. And then the way I got him to really learn it was I pretended I didn't know how to do it, and then he showed me. So I would give him a basic concept and kind of let him forget that I taught it to him, and then ask him. Then I would pretend to be the student, and he would teach it to me and be like this guy, and he would teach me. And that's kind of the way I taught him in the early stages. So anyway, at some point, we're just jamming a lot because I have a studio set up. I'm hardwired, so I can't really show you, but it's a cool setup here. And you know, he stayed home and he loves music, and I'm a musician, and we were just kind of playing a lot anyway. So I figured, and I'm always telling him about my former bands, and I'm writing my autobiography, so he's hearing the stories, and it's like I don't really want to perform much. He doesn't want to perform much, but we like jamming. So we just jam and we record those sessions. And a lot of the songs we don't even play more than twice, you know, we sometimes just once. If we like the recording, we just kind of polish it up a tiny bit and we decide what are we going to put in the. We put out two albums already. And,
Wow, that's awesome.
you know, his first one, he was seven, then eight, and then now he's nine. And I'm pretty sure we have another album coming this year.
That's awesome.
And it's with
Congrats.
this idea of like I don't just like you said the controlling thing. Like I really don't want to be controlling to him. And yes, he's moody, and I'm moody too in my own way. So if we're not in the mood, we don't play. So we go for weeks and weeks without playing. But then we take walks all the time. It's kind of how we homeschool. And then sometimes we're like, yeah, you know what? I think we need to do a Karrish Raddit song, and we'll do like 20 minutes or an hour at most, and we record everything just in case. And then after a while, we accumulate a bunch of recordings, all just you know on the iPhone. We
Mm.
put it near the drum set and the guitars, all just one mic captured everything. I learned where to post, you know, place it so it sounds decent. Afterwards, we just kind of cut off the beginning and the end, put a tiny bit of reverb and EQ, and then we have a bunch of songs. You know, to me, it's important to just record and because we enjoy listening to our albums, so somebody else must at some point in you know in the history of humanity, someone's going to enjoy it too.
No,
So
that's
I
beautiful.
guess the key it's different because you're dealing with someone who's female and you know older,
Yeah,
right? So like
yeah.
so there's more of that rebellious potential. Where my son is still young and not rebelling that much yet, and we're not playing in clubs and stuff like that, you know. So it's different, but I basically my short answer, if I did a short answer, would be I just try not to take it too serious, and I also remember that it's his life and not mine, and I put the relationship first always.
Ah, I love that. That's so beautiful that you play with your son. Like I wish I could play music with my dad, but he doesn't. He was always like, nah, Carlos, I don't think I can do that. To me, that's so difficult. Like I don't even know how you do that music. So no one in my family plays music except for my niece. And there's actually a video of us when she was like around like 5, and I was like a teenager, and I actually have a guitar, and she's like singing, and I never knew that I would make music with her until these past 3 years, which is very strange. Because I would never thought I would be playing with my niece. I just never thought of it. It's not. I didn't get to see my niece growing when she was growing up. It was like a 10-year gap that I just didn't really ever hear from her because of like I guess my brother got into a fight with my mom and all that. But then it was weird. It was like during 2020, pandemic happened. I was in a very rough place. Um, started taking a lot of ecstasy during 2021, and I got like super addicted to that. But within those nights of just playing by myself, I would never go to clubs or anything. It was just me like trying to find a dosage of self love. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
and that's what it gives you. And I got just hooked on that and just music. But I remember within those nights, and there were many nights, I'd be writing a lot of music. I'd be alone in my room playing from like 1 a.m. to like 11 a.m. It was so nuts. I guess it was
Wow.
of processing things. It was magical. It was almost like I guess how jazz musicians they call that wood shedding. I think it's basically they
Hmm.
got themselves and they just practice. And I guess that's what I was doing, but I didn't know it. Um, when I was making this music, it felt new. It felt like I was going deeper because everything that was going through the pandemic, um, just it was just awful. Like basically in this room, my ex-girlfriend used to live here. Um, I took out all my music stuff and let her stay here, but it was just a very toxic relationship and so abusive in a way, like emotional abuse on her part, and it was just very rough. And with the pandemic, it was just even rougher because we broke up and she was still living here, and then my room was what like 2 feet away. So it was like, oh my God, this is awful. And I didn't know how to process that. So I just started taking ecstasy because I was like, I can't really just smoke weed. It doesn't do anything. Just needed something else. So I started taking ecstasy. It was really fun, therapeutic, but then it gets you and it's the worst. But during that time I wrote these songs and I just sent it to my niece, never thinking that I was gonna make a band with her. But then she sent me herself just singing and lyrics, and the song was done. The
Hmm.
song was done. The song was done, and
Wow.
it felt like I got like a new life, to be honest. Like, because I was like, oh my
Hmm.
God, what am I gonna do? Um, I'm just getting older. I thought I'd be married by now. Nothing. Got to start all over. It was the worst. It was the pandemic. We were supposed to have. I was supposed to play with my other band, the Suds. But all the gigs got canceled. So I was like, oh Jesus, what do I do now? And I just fell deeper into a hole. But with by going to that hole, I came out, and my niece was waiting for me, and I guess it was time. The timing of things is so remarkable. I feel so blessed that I get to play with my niece because she's like it's like I'm still linked to that to feeling young. I like that I can give my perspective and she can give her young perspective because she's gonna turn 21 what on on 420 on April 20th this month. But she's a really sweetheart. She makes animation. She animates, and she was always making me stickers for my guitars. She made this hat for me. She knits all these little sweaters and
Neat.
hats. Yeah. So she's very childlike. Very very shy, very timid. She's like dyslexic. And a lot of people she doesn't talk a lot at all. She's very timid. So she doesn't have a lot of friends, but they don't really because they don't understand. When you grow up, if you don't talk, they either think you're stuck up, dumb, or whatever. It's the worst.
Yeah.
So
Well, the music you guys are making together is really
yeah, it's
it's
basically
refreshing. It's very
yeah,
refreshing.
it's
It
really
sounds
just
like it sounds real, and it sounds like I think that pain period you went through and the processing and it really had if nothing else, it reaped this the fruit of this like new creative
yeah,
juice that's actually ripe essentially,
yeah. Yeah.
and uh, and this ability to you know work as a team with your
Hmm.
niece. And
Yeah.
is there other band members, or is it mainly you two and you get
Uh,
work with other guys?
we have other band members. I have another band called the Suds, and incredible musicians. They play drums and bass. I usually come up with the music. Basically, that little desk. I don't know if you can see it right over there. That's where I work.
Hmm.
And it's basically just I write the music. And then I just send it to my niece, and she writes lyrics. That's it.
Hmm.
Sometimes her lyrics they don't make sense if you read them because she's dyslexic, so there's many run-on sentences. But for music, it works perfectly because it keeps things vague. You know what I mean? Like, oh, she had this idea, but then it just goes into this other idea, so it works really well.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Two things uh, come to mind. One, there's this band, brother and sister, which you might be interested in checking out. They're called Broccoli King.
Oh, word. Oh, hold on. Let me go.
Yeah,
Let me write this down, please.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Broccoli
Broccoli King.
King. Yeah, these guys are awesome. Yeah, they're from England, and they have a little bit, I would say, kind of the same genre as you, roughly.
Let's go.
Kind of new. I mean, they've been around for some years now, but uh, relatively new. And yeah, it's a brother and sister, and they do, it's just them really. And
Broccoli King,
yeah,
right? Broccoli
sorry, the Broccoli King. Yeah, I'm checking them out now.
King.
The Broccoli King. It's
Yeah.
good stuff, man.
No,
Uh,
thank you, thank you for putting me on.
yeah, check them out. And then there's uh, I was thinking about just Alanis Morissette, because
Oh
she's
yeah,
funky, cool, right? And she had a lot of that music when she came out with supposed Former Infatuation Junkie, 1998, the follow-up album to Jagged Little Pill. I got into her, and it was really like it was just like she was like singing her diary. Like she kept a diary, and she was just singing it to you that whole album. So there's
yeah,
just a lot of words, like you said, run-on sentences and stuff like that. But it's just so fascinating because like you feel like you're inside her mind. So if you haven't checked out that album recently, I would recommend it. There's a song called "The Couch." Oof, by Alanis Morissette. Really,
let's
really
go.
tasty stuff. But that whole album, supposed 1998 album, supposed Former Infatuation Junkie, is just really flavorful, and it's like this female fronted rock band, and
Mm,
it's alternative. It's got a lot of flavors, Indian flavors in there and stuff like that. And she's just like spilling her guts. And she probably is a shy person. She seems so extroverted, but most likely she's kind of shy in real life.
yeah,
You know. Um. Anyway, yeah, those two things just jump to mind.
yeah. A lot of our music, I would say, it's inspired by this band called Beach House. They play dream pop. I remember listening to them. I don't listen to them as much, but I got my niece into them, and it was never it was never like I forced her. I just, hey, you might like this, and she happened to like all of them the same way I do. So we I think I just got very lucky because you can be a great musician, but sometimes you gotta have that luck in finding the people that are really meant for you,
Yeah.
that
Hmm.
you vibe with.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. Yeah, Kai and I, we get along together. We can't really imagine having another band member, my son and
Yeah,
I. I mean, besides mom,
of
my
course.
wife, she could join as a guest, but not an official member. Um,
That's so
she's
awesome.
welcome to be like a singer, for like a feature or something.
Yeah.
But uh, yeah, and I mean, I've been in many bands, man, and I just couldn't go back to being in a band dynamic at this point of like many people. Maybe something will change one day, but I have a feeling maybe not.
Oh yeah.
Whatever. I'm more of a writer at this point. I write a lot. I'm writing every day. I'm working on my autobiography, and
Oh, that was actually my first like dream. I
Oh yeah,
wanted to be a writer because I love reading. Um, and well, the thing is, I would get away with like the teacher would tell me, "Hey, you got to read this book and do a book report," but I didn't like reading. Um, so what I would do is make up my own book title and author and just make up my own story. And like I would get
okay,
away with it, you know what I mean? So
wow,
but I noticed that I love writing mostly because you get to express yourself, but I noticed that I didn't love it as much as I loved music, like listening to albums. I didn't read a lot of books, it was more about listening to albums, you know.
really,
Like for books you gotta like not that you have to force me, but you have to like tell me you like if I was in a class I would read it and I would enjoy it, you know, but like going I love going to bookstores as well, but like growing up it was basically music that really like got me going, you know what I mean? So I
hmm
was like, man, I guess I can't really be a writer. Because I was like, I'm gonna write the American novel, but I was like, come on, man, you don't even read. So just you know what I mean? So I was like, no, I'll just stick to writing music, and yeah. So I guess it worked out, you know. I also love what you said about like that you're not like no one's better than anybody, you know. I've been trying to. That's something I've been learning. I think I think I told my dad one day because I was like sad. I was like, Dad, I'm tired of being a human. It's so boring. You know, sometimes I get so bored. Like, you know what? You just life is so difficult. You know, first you gotta be blessed to like have both parents and both parents that love each other. You know, if you have that, you're like this the most wealthiest person. All right. Then you have to but even then, you're not even guaranteed to have like what you don't. You might not know what you want to do with your life. You might not get your dream job. Then you got to go to work. Then you got to do this every day. And I was like, oh my god, this is so bad. This just I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this. But then I started thinking it differently. I started thinking like you know you're visiting Earth and you're a human and you get to experience life as a human right now. And you have a mom and you have a dad. And sometimes, because sometimes I get so like, I wish I could just be like my brother. He's married, has kids, goes just go to work, come back home, take care of his kids, and watch his TV, right? And I think that's beautiful. But I cannot, I cannot do that. Like, I can do that for like a few days, but like, I need to like something calls for me more and I hate it and like I have to like create something and or go and see something that like does something to me and I've been trying my best to just be happy with like hey like I have this opportunity right now to just watch this movie with my dad like how many people have that you know and I was like you know once you get over that once you like I started thinking like I'm visiting Earth right now, and I might as well have fun with all the things that are very human, like watching a movie with your dad. Um, what my mom made soup today, you know, like things
hmm
that a lot of people take for granted. But I started seeing it like it's so cool to be a human, like the coolest thing, you know. So
Yeah.
I've been trying to take that approach it makes things a lot easier. Like, oh, like, you know, waiting in traffic, you're like, you know what, this is actually pretty cool. You know, as a human being, you know what I mean? It's not that bad. Like, I mean, it's kind of cool, you know, if you think of it like that, you know, like little things, you know, I've been trying to do that. But like I said, that need for me to like to always find something more, it's always there and I think some things are so difficult for me. Like I think like being a dad would be so difficult. Like that would be like the hardest thing. I don't think I it's so hard. It's like I remember I was feeling a certain way, and I told my dad, like, Dad, I don't know how you do it. Like, I would have just kicked myself out already. I would have, you know what I mean? Like how do
Hmm.
you have so much patience with people? How do you like? I think as a dad, you have to like have so much patience, so much understanding, and you have to do it a certain way because if you're too hard on your child, they'll be like, I don't want to talk to my dad anymore. You know, he's too much. You know what I mean? You need a good balance. I'm like, oh my God, I don't know if I could do that. That sounds so difficult. It's so difficult. I don't know how you
Well,
do it.
thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it because it is actually
Yeah,
hard, and it's not that often that someone recognizes it, or
it's so
acknowledges that.
difficult.
And I'm in an amazing situation because I do have a teammate, a wife, and I get along. We get along, and we work together, and my son is actually pretty awesome, in terms of like everyone's son is awesome, right? And daughter's
Yeah,
awesome to them, of course. But he's actually,
really awesome.
he's nice,
Yeah,
and he's cooperative and he's very understanding and you know, he gets along with people and he basically listens to us. He challenges us, but so but still it's not easy because it's not my life only anymore, right? It's
yeah,
my life and I also, take care of my mom and help out my brother when he needs help and it could be a lot. It could be a lot.
you have to be the rock for everybody, and sometimes you don't get to express how you really feel, and I don't know, that's so difficult, that's I don't know, and I think that's the most one of the most hardest jobs, I don't think that's so difficult. Like I'll give an example, like I had a dog and he was like felt like he was like my kid, you know what I mean? I mean that's the only way I could ever kind of understand how it is to have a son, but I would just be so afraid if he just went outside and it wasn't me holding his leash. I would be so afraid. I was like, no,
Right.
you don't know how to hold it right. He's gonna run away. It's gonna, and I would just freak out. Um, I think I used to write this thing how like I used to write a lot, and one of the things I would say is that first like the kids got to understand that it's like parents are like they don't have it figured out. They're just learning how to do this. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So you got to understand that, but also like it's like the parents' job is to take the kid to like the art store and let them choose their own color and paint their own whatever they want to paint their life like. And I think that was like the analogy I use, because some parents want to, no, no, you get that color. No, trust me, that color is better. You know what I mean? Stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's tricky. Absolutely. There's no one teaches you how to be a parent, and if they do, they can only tell you what their perspective is. It's not like they know what your experience is going to be like, and yeah, we all have to figure it out as we go. And it's a full-time job. I had one full-time job right before parenthood, like a total full-time job, which is diabetes.
Mm.
That's something you get no days off,
Oh
But
man,
then once you get a child, then there's another thing with no days off. So yeah,
Jesus.
so my life has been had quite a heaviness. Sounds a little dramatic, but it's been very I don't know. I've been very grounded for a while. Not that
Would
I can't travel sometimes, I do,
you
but
would you say like you're a very stoic person?
stoic. I'm not sure what the typical understanding of stoic might be, but I don't know if that means like calm or like can like withstand a storm or something like that. What do you mean
Yeah.
by stoic?
I guess, do you feel like you're a person who's been able to handle life by remaining calm, and like you're able to get through life through that stoicism, like because my mom, she's diabetic as well, and she has had a lot of hardships, but instead of like being so mean to me, she just happens to be so nice, you know. And, but I sometimes feel like she's not letting herself be fully herself. A little, she's stoic in that sense. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That she
Hmm.
decides to be the rock for everybody. You know?
Hmm. Yeah. So I don't know. I guess there's an element of me that's stoic, like because I had to get like various dental work, and because I get like my blood taken, so I've got a lot of needles put into me, put it that way. And I have like gum problems for years, so like dealing with painful things, I just kind of take a deep breath and I can handle it more or less. And like got a few tattoos, but this thing was really bad. I took a spill in Brazil and ripped my hand open, and
Oh
that
no.
had to. It was bad. I couldn't use it, couldn't play, couldn't even hold a pick for like 5 weeks.
Oh
Because if I did, then like the skin was gonna open up again.
no.
This is in the middle of like a very like rural village in Brazil, and
Oh no.
but whatever, it was important. So in some ways, I would regard myself as stoic, but I would think more my sense is my strong point, I guess, would be like to see things like you, similar to you said, like I'm a visitor to planet Earth. It's just a short time, and also to see that not just a silver lining, but like to really believe that whatever happens to me is really in my best interest. So there's something called paranoia, and the opposite is called pronoia. And I
Oh,
do think I'm pretty good at pronoia, being able to view that whatever happens is really in my best interest, even if it looks like it sucks. So like the day I was diagnosed diabetic, I was like really crestfallen. I'm like, like I can never eat a donut again. I didn't know what it meant. And then like, I got through it, and through that, I became vegan after a month of research. Like, how the heck am I going to overcome this? And can you overcome it? And so you can't overcome type one as of yet. I'm a type one, not type two. Type two, you can reverse. Type one, you could just like control it well. And so far, who knows what technology has, or if the aliens are going to come down and show us some new way to redo
yeah,
our
yeah,
organs or something. But
totally.
I'm open to all that. But so far, I got to live with diabetes and take insulin every day. And but I just see like if I didn't have diabetes is definitely on the one of the top three best things that happened in my life easily, because I know my weaknesses and like how I just addicted to certain sweets and certain processed foods. And without diabetes, like kicking my ass saying, "Hey, look at your blood sugar, look at your numbers. This isn't good, and look how you feel. You're so exhausted." So like if eating like a heavy meal or something makes you tired, if you're diabetic, it makes you more tired. So you like notice the effects more, and I do anyway. I'm like, ugh. So it's really helped me to eat much cleaner, and to exercise for my health, not my vanity.
Yeah.
I don't know if that
No, that
answered your
that
question.
makes sense. No, that's a really nice way to see it. I guess you're saying how like in a way diabetes makes you keep yourself in check even more. You know what I mean?
It's the best coach I could possibly have,
Oh, that's
because
awesome.
a coach would be, like a teacher would be, you hear their voice, but this is just like my body and the numbers. I'm like, fuck. Okay. Yeah. All right. So I know I need more rest. I know I need to hydrate. I know I need to keep certain things. It's not like I don't eat well. Believe me, I eat very well, but like a lot of yummy food. But I do try to eat as much whole food, plant-based as I can, and then from there, I'll break out of that like rigidness sometimes. But it used to be that eating healthy was more like the rare time. So now it's most of the time, and then I splurge less of the time.
Oh, that's a great way to look at it. I really like that. I guess, sometimes when you have bad things happen to you, you kind of start thinking, why is this happening to me? Like, why? And but then sometimes I think of it like they were they had to happen. Like, how else was I supposed to learn this? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But sometimes I do be asking, man, can you just make me learn something? But it's like fun and good. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Not through like a hard lesson, but I like hard lessons because it makes me, I guess, play music at a deeper level. Um, you get to tap in. I think I was writing to something how you being lonely, you learn how other people feel lonely. It's something like that. Like when I write a song, it's usually me being super lonely. And I feel like I go through like, oh, I'm so sad right now. Oh, I'm so lonely right now. Blah blah. But then the songwriter, the song kicks in is when you start feeling not alone anymore because you know other people feel the same way as you, or like you feel the loneliness of the world, like at that moment, and then like I can make the song. I have this weird approach how I approach music. I don't approach music through like scales or I don't think of it like oh, I'm just gonna be here and play A minor blah blah. No, I don't think of it like that. I feel like the way I do music is like I have to experience life, learn, and like earn the song. And I earn it by being nice to people, by helping a friend out, by going and see this, by hearing conversations. Sometimes I go to parties, um and people think, oh, it's just a waste of time, you're just getting drunk and smoking. But no, I go there and I listen to people's conversations, and to me it's like I'm listening to music, and I'm like learning, and I'm absorbing stories, emotions, and then it's like I earned the song, and then when I play the song, when I make the song, it's quite easy. It just comes to you. It's not really difficult. The difficult part is just finishing it. But making it, it's not hard. Like I said, it's like you earn it. Once you earn it, it's given to you, and you just gotta be ready for it. That's how I approach music. I don't sit there and be like, oh, I'm gonna write this song in C minor or whatever. No, I can't do it like that. I
No.
can't. I have to earn it. So
Interesting. Interesting.
yeah, yeah.
And
I,
then I guess at some point in that process, like, okay, you say to yourself, I'm gonna live my life, and through that, the music's gonna come. Because I don't know if you think you could plan. I'm gonna go to the party and then come home and write a song. Would you plan it like that?
oh no, I don't
No.
plan it. I just know that I just want to go and see my friends, right? And something like I remember my friend showed me this song. Like it was like 5 a.m. Everyone's like partied out, but he showed me this song, and I was like, oh my God, this Van Morrison song, and I was like, oh my God, I want to write a song like that, and that feeling didn't go away. I was like, I called him days later, hey man, what was that name of that song that you put on? And he sent me a song. And I'm like, no, it's not that one. It's another one. Find it. And he did. He found it, and me and my niece wrote this new song called "In Touch." Um, inspired by Van Morrison. So that's how we write songs. I just get so inspired, and it's like half inspired, half like I want to die type of thing. But it's like once you go past that, I want to die. It's more like I just want to live. I just want to live and experience this emotion, and just present it, record it the best way that shows that emotion. So yeah, that's how I write songs. I don't like I said, I don't sit down and I'm like, oh, I want to write this type of song. It just doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's all sorts of ways to write songs, man. Like I said, I like to with my Karrish Raddit. We got an idea, we jam on it, then we're like, okay, let's put the phone down, put on voice memo, and just record it, and then we listen later, and if we like it, we release it. I used to do that with cassette tapes. I mean, I know you're not quite the cassette tape era, but I still have a whole
Oh no,
archives, a bunch of cassette tapes. A
that's
lot of
so
this is on my
cool.
web, a lot of this is on my YouTube channel,
Oh,
and so
I would
sometimes,
I would buy one. I would buy one. No,
yeah,
seriously.
no, I
I
can't.
have
I don't have cassettes for
oh
sale, but I take the music from there. I digitize it from that those
oh
cassettes, and
oh that's
like
cool.
there's one that I did. It was just a demo tape that I did in my basement when I was living. I, I was 24. This particular thing called, and I didn't have a name. I didn't think it was going to be released or anything, but I had these songs, and I was going through some dark, mucky stuff at the time, a lot of loneliness, uh, and anyway, I digitized this tape recently. I'm listening back. I'm like, damn, I like these songs. It's a very rough recording with some noise in the background. I'm like, I don't know. So I kind of polished it up as best I could. I picked not all of them were really worth it, but I picked 7 tracks from there and I released it as an album a couple months ago. It's called Blissful Misery.
Oh, let's
And
go.
yeah, I think you'd appreciate it because like listen to the song titles. Time and Again, I Hurt Myself.
Oh, I like that.
Lazy Days. That
Mhm.
was like I was smoking a lot of weed at the time, and it's
Yeah.
just like you feel that how it got stuck in that lazy groove. Troubles
Oh
and
yeah.
Gray Skies. It's kind of like a blues one. Got a guitar solo in me. It's just this acoustic guitar solo thing. I don't know. A Cure, which is kind of love song, weird thing. Then uh then so-called my magnum opus, which like is this very long, I think improvised. I don't remember writing it down, but it's long, like 13 minutes long. And
Wow.
like there's a lot of emotion, like Smashing Pumpkins meets like freaking black metal or something. Like at
Wow.
some
That's
point I break into like death growls, like "Whoa," and with with acoustic guitar in the
wow.
basement. I just had this energy welling up. I just couldn't express it any other way. And I heard it back just one day as I'm working on my book. I'm like, I just couldn't. I came back and put it on again. I'm like, I like that, and I listened to it, and I thought it was worth releasing. And whatever, if a handful of people hear it or many people, it doesn't matter. But I'm glad I took that, I polished it up, and I made it into a product and I put it out into the world. You
Yeah.
know?
No, that's beautiful. I always tell people music is meant to be shared, to be heard by not just yourself, you know? So just share it. That's what I tell everybody. Just put it out there, you know? If you like it, someone else will like it. And just try to be super, 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 super honest. You know what I mean? That's what I feel like you have to do that even more now. Like I saw somewhere like authenticity is like the new currency. It's like there's so many things that are just fake now, not just products, but like even how people interact now. And people are craving more now, just honesty and like authenticity, even if they don't know it. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
It's a cool place from my perspective because I am this very raw artist. I've had some moments of polished works out in the world, but mainly I'm more prolific than I am like polished. I prefer things to just come out of me
at the
in
moment, yeah, yeah,
quantity over quality in a sense. Like I want things to be as best they could, but I'm not gonna fixate on one thing. I'd rather just keep on
yeah,
producing.
yeah,
And because we live in this era, I think that it's really the time for an artist like that, like myself, perhaps you too, just wants to put out something honest and
hmm
where the polish is nice, but it's really secondary, because it's so easy to hear highly polished music. And if it's not really authentic and not saying something raw and true, it doesn't have to be raw, but it has to be true, then we could tell. The average person, even if they're totally not trained in any way, we hear so much music that you could tell if it's not
it's
just,
fake, yeah.
getting to the heart.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. I think especially now. I think maybe people are like starting to like revert to that honesty. I think it just takes time for people to catch up. It just that's just the way it's always been. It always takes. There's always a few artists that the certain people understand and totally get quick, but it takes everyone else to like catch up. You know what I mean? To
Hmm.
that. It's always
Yeah.
been like that. I feel, and I think it's always a good thing in a way. It's just bound to happen, I guess.
Yeah, it
Um,
seems fair in a way,
you know
right?
what I
Like,
mean? Yeah.
mhm.
So that's what I've been trying to do with my this album. We've been writing it for 2 years, and we have like it's like 25 songs, and I was either gonna release it as a double album or something. A lot of songs I learned. I've been learning just how to produce, and I just do it all by myself. And but now I'm seeing how Ellie's growing, how we're growing, and I don't think the music no longer. It's like the fish got too big, and now it needs a bigger tank. I think
Hmm.
I cannot keep going with the same way of recording where I just record it in my laptop, and it sounds nice. It sounds pretty cool, and but I feel like going forward, I'm gonna have to. Um, it's like I'm at this point where I'm like, okay, Carlos, um, you've been doing this music, and it's this raw, and it's and by producing all this music, you've been polishing it, and you want to get to a point where you want to get really professional, but not lose that rawness and that honesty. You know what I mean? So I want to come to
Hmm.
that point where I can fuse that together and just make a product, not a product, but just music that is just really really good. Just speaks for itself. I don't want to because I hate promoting music. It's one of the things I hate the most. Like making content, I hate it because it just feels so unnatural. Like I'm not gonna tell people, yeah, yeah, just listen to the song is the best song ever. Oh, it's about this, about blah. I hate doing that. I hate making that like, oh, this is about a breakup, blah blah. No, I don't like that. I don't know, but the only thing I can get away around that just making music so good that it just makes you want to listen, and that's what I've been trying to do. But it takes time, it takes time to I think I've been learning the best lesson I've been trying to learn is just to believe in my music, myself. I was like, how to become a better musician? What do I do? Do I just learn Eruption by Van Halen? What do I do? No, I think guys just to trust in yourself, to trust in your taste, to trust in yourself and your band, and and I've been trying to have more just faith, in things, just in God. I don't know if I don't know. I'm not. I don't know if I'm religious. I mean, I believe in Jesus and God, but that's just because of my parents. If I was born somewhere else, I would have believed something else. But um, I feel like I do believe in a higher power. You know what I mean? Like
Sure, yeah.
I do trust in like in the universe. Like I'll give you a story, which is one of the most scariest dreams I ever had. I think I was like 15, and I was just so depressed, and I hated my life. Hated my life. I was like, oh my god, I hate my life so much. I want to die, and all that. And then I had this dream. It was pitch black, and I could hear God's voice. But he wasn't. I couldn't hear it, but I can like hear it in my mind. And he was like super angry with me. He's like, "Why do you hate your life?" Blah blah blah. And then he's like, "Okay, if you hate your life, okay, Carlos." And it's like he took my file of my life through all the universes, and he said, "Okay, is this what you want? If you want, I'll erase you, so it'll be like you never lived, you were never created. And I was like, no, no, no. It was the scariest thing. It's like you like you're gonna get deleted, you know? It was so scary. Like, oh my God, it was the scariest thing ever. I was like,
Wow.
imagine being deleted like all your lives, whatever, through galaxies, universes, whatever. I can't even comprehend that, you know what I mean? But I remember feeling like, nah, I wouldn't want that, you know? And I guess I just have to, man up and just live, be, this is my whatever I got to go through. And like, I then I started saying, okay, maybe it's not so bad. I'm just being dramatic and, being a teenager. But I remember that scared the shit out of me. And I was like, okay, I'm never gonna complain like that, like,
Wow. Did you wake up in the middle of the night with a cold sweat or something like that?
no, I think it was just like, I think it was a period I was very depressed, and like, and then that dream just like shook me up. I'm like, I've had many dreams like that when I get sick, like mentally. I remember I had this dream where Kurt Cobain hugged me. I got a hug from Kurt Cobain, and he was like, nah, you're special, you're okay, man. And then he went to drawing because he was an artist, and he was drawing something very beautifully and so easily. And I was like, hey man, how do you do that? And he was about to tell me, but then my dad woke me up. It was like, oh dad, come on. I've had many dreams where like I'm
Wow.
a very low point, and like it feels like something divine pulls me out. And been very grateful about that. I guess I've been much happier now. I'm not as depressed as I used to be, and I guess now I want to make music, not just from a depressed, sad form, but from a happy point in my life.
Hmm.
Or you know what I mean? So,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
but I still think it's gonna be moody, because that's just the human experience. I think
Hmm.
I just for right now I just want to finish the album, and then I can work on whatever comes next.
So have you guys put out an album yet, or this would be the first one?
This would be the we have like released songs on Spotify. Like we have like 15. No, we have like 20 songs, just singles.
Oh,
Uh,
really? Okay.
but the album uh will have like 20 songs as well. Um, and most of them are finished. Most of them are finished. I just have like two songs left that I really want to finish, and hopefully in June or July this summer we'll release it. And I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm like, fuck it, there's nothing else I can do. Let's just release it, um, and just keep working on whatever comes next, and just go hard on these new songs, new experiences. It
Yeah,
feels like
man. I mean, I think the way I look at it is creation and releasing it. It's really just like eating and digestion. Like you got to poop in order to keep eating more. Like you can't work
yeah,
on new stuff until you pooped out the old stuff.
yeah, yeah,
And that's what I look at releasing albums. And I don't at this point I don't care. I mean, I don't want to release junk, but I prefer to release something than nothing,
yeah.
and sooner than later, basically, if I
Oh yeah,
can. Like I would even be curious if you would consider putting your 20 songs into an album and releasing that, even if it's still the same. I don't know how complicated that is, but just so people could have an album, they could hit press play and just listen to the whole thing.
yes, exactly. I was trying to make it like I was thinking of doing a double album, like like because I grew up like playing Pokemon, so they'll have like red and blue or yellow, silver, or something like that. But
Hmm.
now I just wanna. I'm getting to the point where I'm like, this is basically how my life was. The thing is, I wrote a lot of songs about people and situations that I no longer really feel anymore. Not that I don't have love for those people or situations, but that's it. They run its course, and it's not like not that I don't feel like that anymore, but like I moved on from it, and I feel like the album needs to be released because it's like I'm done with it, and I'm just trying to get it to a
It's
place
a, it's
where
like a timepiece. It's like a
yes,
timepiece,
yes,
right?
exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a
It's
time.
important, man. I think it's
Yeah,
important. I
yeah.
don't. Do you use CD Baby or you have a different distributor?
I use what DistroKid.
Okay. Um, I'm a happy CD Baby user. I'm not that familiar with DistroKid, but I'll say like what's cool about CD Baby is that you can put out an album, I think for like $15 now, and it's standard. So if you invest more, you get some more perks about how they collect your money, or whatever. But and then, but they would collect royalties for you, and you pay one time. Some of these things are like subscription by year, but you just pay once
Once
per
and done.
album.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I've been using CD Baby for years, and I'm happy with it. Yeah, I just love releasing music, and I don't promote much either. I'm not a fan of it
yeah.
promoting.
So
I
I'm
do
not.
a little bit,
Yeah,
when but yeah. But I mean, hey, it's important that you did it because if you didn't, I wouldn't have thought, oh, hey, Carlos is active doing music and let me, ask
yeah,
him to come on the show. So
exactly.
it did, it reached me when I was in Barcelona doing
Barcelona.
this,
Yeah, yeah. I remember. I
you know.
remember. Oh man, I love Barcelona too. So inspiring. But I'm glad that it was able to reach you. Yeah, I one thing I've always loved is just playing live. It just feels like it always feels like a life and death situation. I
Mhm.
don't know why. It's just we're just playing live.
Mhm.
But at that moment, I feel like I gotta go super hard. Like it's my job. It's my job. It's my duty. Like I keep telling my niece, look, this is our job in this lifetime. All right, this is what we gotta do. This is our job. We gotta play music, and we owe it to the people that we play music well, and it's honest, and it's good. It's not just for us; it's for the people. You know, I've always thought of it like that. It's like a service you got to do, and like I have to be my best, give my all. And I guess I love playing live because I get to do that with my friends, and it's just so cool. You know what I mean? Like you play your own songs,
Mhm.
the sound of the amps. Oh my god, the feedback going crazy. It's so like the best. It's the best. It's so fun. It's like oh my god. And then to know that I'm doing it with my niece, I think feels even cooler. With my friends that I've known now for like more than 10 years. Um, it's just incredible, and like I said, that's the way I think of music. Uh, it's like a service that we have to do, like, because to be honest, that's what it is. Like
Mhm.
music is so powerful. Like a good song can get you out of like the most depressive states. We use songs to celebrate, to mourn, to get through what everything. It's such an important service to the human experience. Like, and like that's that's what my job is in this lifetime. I don't know if another lifetime it might be just doing something else, but at this lifetime, that's my job. I got to do it well because their services are called upon, and I have to do it well. And that's all I can say. And that's what I've been trying to be more mature. Like I take my now I gotta take it. I feel like I gotta take my music seriously, more seriously, but not to the point where I'm like pretentious and all that. No, because I don't think I could ever be like that. But take more like where I believe in myself, and I'm just like more free of how I express myself. Like just dive deeper into who the person I am, who my niece is, combine everybody, and just make good music and until whatever. That's my job right now. So, even if it
Yeah,
doesn't pay much, even if it doesn't pay much at all, So,
Yeah,
but
yeah. I,
that's
I,
the
I, I I admire that, and I totally relate to it. My wife and I also have this sense that my wife loves singing, by the way, and we have this sense that, and she's also a YouTuber, and that we're doing our art and we're doing like this interview or this. It's all like labors of love that we do. She has her activities. I have mine, writing my book. I'm not getting paid for these activities, but it doesn't matter. And I don't have this huge audience or anything, but I feel like the universe is watching, not just people, not just humans on planet Earth. Like there's beings all over, and they see that, okay, here's John, this guy is Yoko, this girl, here's Carlos.
Mhm.
I don't know your niece's name, sorry.
Ellie.
Ellie.
Yeah, yeah,
Here's Ellie. These people they're shining their light for the benefit of others.
yeah,
So let's support them because
yeah,
this is what the earth is awakening right now. We need people willing to stand and shine their light.
yeah,
So even if we're not getting rewarded in like traditional money ways or even popularity, the universe is watching. And
yeah.
if our heart's in the right place, we will be supported. This is our belief, my
Oh
wife
no,
and I.
I believe that 100%, 100%, 100%. There's been a lot of these guitars you see on the wall. I didn't buy them. Like just gift from friends.
Right.
I used to play out in the street, and I had two people give me their guitars, and just they're like, "Nah, I think you should have it. I don't even use mine." So I was like, "Okay." And I've had like situations where like things that I needed, a friend just was like, "Oh, I'm married now. I don't have time for music, bro, but I know you use it well." And I just get like a whole DJ set, whole software, and I'm like, and those are the moments where I'm like doubting myself. I'm like, "Oh man, should I even be doing this?" Like, it's not looking good for you, Carlos. You have no girlfriend, no wife. You're not even making a lot of money. It's not looking good for you, man. But every time I'm like down on myself, I get like a gift, and I'm like, damn it, I gotta keep on going. And it's such a nice feeling, but it's so hard being a musician. Like, it's so lonely. Um, I've had friends that are not musicians don't really get it. They're like, Carlos, why don't you just get a job and get settled down? And I'm like, I try to, I mean, I can't, you know what I mean? Um,
Yep.
to be honest, I just wish I was like normal. Like in another life, I'm just like going to work, my wife's home, my kid, and I just watch TV with them, and that's it, and that's enough. I would love to. That's the most. I think that would be so awesome. But in this life as a musician, the thing is that sucks is that you feel things so intensely, man. Like I still get excited over a crush, like if I'm like 12, and then I'm like, what are you doing, man? You're such an idiot. Or I still get sad, like, oh my God, this is actually really sad, And then I'm like, oh my God. Or sometimes I just go out, drive in my car and like appreciate the beauty of things. It's just so funny, you know what I mean? But it's so intense, and it's so intense that sometimes I don't sleep. Many times I don't sleep. Um, and I hate it, but I still at the same time love it because I know it's who I am, and there's other people, and like I said, in this lifetime, that this is who I am, just a musician. That's how I see life, and that's my job, and those are the jobs of my friends right now. If we can make money, that would be great. If we cannot, I'm still gonna do it anyway because I've been doing, I've been doing it anyway either. So I guess, but that's also freeing too. Like I told my dad, like dad, like he's like Carlos, how can you like be in a basement, work on songs, and what go to a show and you don't even get paid, Carlos? How the hell do you do that? And I'm like, Dad, easy. It just because it makes me happy. That's you know what I mean. That's the. And he's like, oh, I didn't. Carlos, I didn't think of it like that. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm so lucky that my dad has a different way of thinking, you know. His way is just to make money, you know? And because he thinks like that, I get to stay in this basement, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
and work on my music. So I'm trying to understand and appreciate everybody's life. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I used to think my brother, oh my God, how do you just like not want anything more? And then I'm like, yo, he has a family, a job, a wife that loves him. He's got everything. What else does he need? You know what I mean? Like if you're honest, that's all you really need. You don't need anything else. You don't need to have a lot of
Yeah.
money to be happy, you know? But not everyone has that life mission, you know. I feel people that have that are the most luckiest people, you know. But like I said, musician wise, like I would like to go to so many places and learn more music. There's something always restless in me, and that's what really is. It just grinds everything, and you know, my niece comes here not to have fun. I mean, to have fun, but most of the time we're just recording hours in this little room, and it's super fun. It's super fun, but it's also a lot of work. And a lot of people don't see that. They think we're just smoking and hanging out. But no, it's hard being musicians. You gotta work, make the song, the lyrics. Oh,
Yeah.
it's
Got to focus, right? You got to
yeah,
focus.
it's so difficult. You gotta turn all your problems, not just be sad from them, but overcome them. People think you can write songs when you're sad. You write the saddest song and it's a beautiful. No, it doesn't work like that. I can't write a song when I'm sad or heartbroken. I can't even get out of bed. How am I going to write a song? I have to sit in that sadness, learn from it, overcome it, and then I get the privilege to write the song. You know what I mean? It's it's so difficult, but I wouldn't have another either other way. But
Well, one thing I'll offer is I know it's getting late, it's probably time to wrap up, but I see myself a lot of similarities to you in the sense of being hypersensitive, right? Being compelled to
yeah,
create, to do music, having a big heart, also that with a seeking spirit. I don't know if
mm-hmm,
you would heard in those terms, but clearly you've shown me through our
mm-hmm,
talk that you have a seeking spirit, just constantly seeking and what's the
yeah,
truth, and to really want to experience life, taste the flavors, and express it.
yeah, that's so
Um, and also because you feel so much similar to myself, sometimes you really just want to die or just disappear. But at the same time, you keep remembering, whether it's through the grace of higher power, whatever, that you're here for a reason
yeah.
and you're gonna see it through. And that, similar to me. And but anyway, I do something called channeling. Are you familiar with channels? So people who's like channel like a higher
Mm,
guide or like a spirit guide, or it could be an extraterrestrial that would, that you trust, that you have a relationship with, that would speak a higher truth, like Washesh. Sorry, Washesh is my guide. There's a guy named Bashar who's very popular. He channels always really enlightening.
mm,
Anyway, so I can like go in and speak to my guides and ask for guidance, and a message will be channeled through me. And one thing that's been bothering me recently is my solar plexus. Just is a lot of heaviness over here, and I don't think it's a personal thing. Of course, I ask myself, is it what I'm eating? Am I drinking too much, or what's going on? But um, what I've learned is that right now there's a lot of heavy energies on the planet that are being actually transformed into light energy as
mm,
we're like leveling up in consciousness. And so my solar plexus is one of the gateways of filter. And I think you might have something similar with you being a filter, right? So
mm,
like you take these experiences and you filter them and something more, from something maybe toxic or heavy, it becomes something more beautiful or more
yeah,
pure, right?
yeah.
So, so this, I feel like there's a cheese grater in my chest and that these heavy energies are going through and coming out. They're being pressed, and they're coming out like
Like,
thinner
yeah,
and
yeah.
more like
Oh,
malleable
that's a nice
on the other
visualization.
end.
I like that.
And really, because I've been feeling this heaviness in my chest for about a month now, regularly, and it'll only last for a couple hours during the day. But I do a lot of deep breathing, and my guide told me that some of us are on the planet right now to simply filter the heavy energies into lighter energies, and that's kind of what we signed up for, part of our role on planet Earth.
Yeah.
And so even like one thing I would encourage you or anyone in the position of like feeling like a creative, like for better or worse, we're creative, and whether we make money or succeed, we're gonna do it because we can't help it, and that could be feel heavy and like a struggle. But
Yeah.
just to remember that maybe more than just being creative, maybe actually are like for myself, I know that it's not just I'm a creative person. I don't regard myself as a musician anymore. Of course, I will say I am, but it's not my main identity. And it's my main identity is really like being a filter,
Mhm.
a process, someone who processes things and makes something uh, more pure
Mhm.
from heaviness. That's kind of my main role on earth. And through all things I do, I process things and I kind of purify them. And like I'm like a kind of like a lightning bug or something, like a hop hippo, over there. Like I'm
Mhm.
just like this bright little light that's pleasant. Like I'm a nice thing to have around. I'm not gonna hurt anyone. And so that's kind of why the universe protects me. I feel is just I'm like this. Anyway, all that to mention that maybe when we look at our role as bigger than like the typical human role, even musician or even creative. That sounds it's still kind of limiting to think we're here as part of this Earth movement. You know, just like the turtles, just like the crickets, and just like the whales. We're part of that. We're cleansing the Earth with our presence, just being here.
Oh, that's a beautiful way to think of it. Yeah, I love that. That definitely does makes me feel like I'm just enough, just being myself. You know what I mean?
Yes, that
You know what
that's
I
it,
mean?
man. That's kind of yeah what I want to share. Yeah.
Yeah. No, thank you, because like I said, I think that was one of my biggest things, just never feeling enough. I always got to be doing more, more and more and more. But I'm slowly learning that just being myself is enough and necessary. You know what I mean? Not
Yeah.
useless. You know what I mean? Because if you're not making money, the world tends to make you feel like you're useless. You know what I mean? So
Hmm. But yeah, I believe the universe doesn't make accidents, makes no mistakes, and that if we're here because we're here, and
exactly.
you know, it's up to us to just recognize that and say, "Oh yeah, okay, the universe put me here, and I agreed to it because I'm here."
Yeah, yeah,
you know,
yeah, yeah. No, exactly, exactly. You agree to it. That's the part I forget, because I'm like, man, what did I even come? Like sometimes I feel like, oh man, like what did I come back? Like I was like, man, I should have just stayed up somewhere, but for some reason they called me back, and I said, okay. Maybe I said it reluctantly. And I said, oh man, do I have to? You know what I mean? Like type thing. But like I said, it really is always a beautiful thing to be a human being. It really is. Even when I'm sad, I'm still like, you get to even experience that, even, you know, something that made you sad was because it was beautiful before. So even when I think that's my best trait, that even though at my lowest, I can always find hope. That's the best thing, you know. So,
hmm
but I think what you said has definitely released like this weight on me, like just being myself. Sometimes I think sometimes it just takes certain people to make you feel seen. You know what I mean? Like, because I have a lot of friends. I can go to parties, and I get along with like a lot of people, but um, it's not. it's not like you feel seen. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
you gotta play the game, and I can play the game well, but it gets boring. When all you talk about is like, "Hey man, what job you got?" Blah blah. It gets so
Yeah,
boring.
so boring, so
So
boring.
so
All
I
right,
just
man.
just want to
Yeah,
thank you.
I appreciate. Thank you for coming on, having this awesome, long, and very
Uh,
heartfelt, open talk. Um, yeah, man. I look forward to hearing more. I'm gonna send people,
awesome.
recommend our listeners to go to check out your music, Sibilance, and I'm gonna
Yes,
put the
there you go.
links there. So
I'll send you I'll probably send you like the song that I told you was inspired by Van Morrison. All right.
okay, well, I'll tell you the ones that you send me, and if you want to send me something else, let me know. I got
Yeah,
uh,
I'll send you like
you gonna send me something else too?
unreleased stuff.
Okay, so what the ones I'm gonna put in the
On the album.
YouTube description, just stick to the two you sent me.
Yeah, those are where people can find my all the music I have released. You
Cool.
know,
So on YouTube, Sibilance, and on Spotify, right?
yeah, that's all.
Cool. So guys, go and have a listen. Check out Carlos and Ellie, right?
Yep,
And yeah, they're making some cool tunes.
for
Really,
sure.
I appreciate hearing new, fresh music, especially local. Definitely makes me excited. And
Yep. I've been
I was
going to
listening
Marine
to that
Park.
in Spain. Yeah,
Yeah, Marine Park is the best part.
yeah, Marine Park rules. Yeah, maybe one day we'll meet up in the creek and take a walk around Marine
Yeah,
Park.
that'd be sweet, man.
Cool. All right, Carlos, it's been a pleasure. Have a great night.
Good night, man. Thank you so
All right,
much
good night,
for
everyone.
letting me come on your podcast and everything. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure. It's been fun. All right, good night.
All right, bro. Good night, man.
Peace.